Definitely some FOMO today for this guy. What's going on, everybody? Today, I actually did not take a trade. And that happens occasionally throughout the year. And today, for a good reason. As a father, if your child has a doctor's appointment and you've got to take them to their appointment, you need to be there. And it's when the market's open, you got to do what's more important, which is obviously being at the doctor's appointment. And this one ran a little bit longer than normal. And then by the time we finished up, it was lunchtime, had to grab the kids lunch, and checked in periodically on my phone to see how things were going, and the FOMO was strong. It was strong. I wanted to jump in something. I wanted to just log into my IBKR account on my phone, buy or short a chunk of shares, but my better judgment said, dumb idea. And so I didn't take a trade today. But that FOMO is always there. It doesn't go away. You feel like you're missing out. And today, when we look at the market and what happened, I actually, and I talked about this yesterday, I thought we would get a nice little pop off of the delay of tariffs until August. And like I said, I know that a pullback is coming. I know that weakness is coming. But I wasn't anticipating it today. And there were some really nice short opportunities that came into the market. One point in time, the SPX was down 77 points, and it harkened back to the early days of tariffs in yesteryear of April of this year, when we would get those 100-point swings, 150-point swings, 200-point swings. Remember that? That wasn't that long ago. But we haven't had a selling day like that, so 77 points, it was like, wow, this is interesting. So we saw some weakness come in, and it's a good thing for this bull run that we've been on. And I do expect dip buyers to come in before it's all said and done, before this week is over. But I do expect by the time this month is completed that we start a market correction. We've seen that happen really the last 2 years. July, toward the end of July, has marked an interim top and then a pullback, so I am watching for that. But we did have some individual tickers that ran today, Roblox being one of them. Roblox, RBLX, was up above 106 today. So that was running, that got some love. Carvana, CVNA, pushing back up near all-time highs. My friend Jason got a piece of that. Good for him. We saw CRCL, Circle Internet Group, get some love again today too. And so there were individual tickers out there. If you were in front of your screen, if you were studying, you got to identify these outliers, and you hopefully were able to pick them up for nice little day trades. So hopefully some of you guys were able to snag one of them. And then you had Tesla. We talked about Tesla yesterday and how the America Party and Mr. Musk saying that he's going to start this America Party and calling out Donald Trump and the big beautiful bill, and that caused a retort from Trump. It did, and it actually got below that 100 simple moving average on the daily chart, which was interesting. And I'm not ready to touch that thing yet. There's just too much uncertainty there. But more importantly, think about this. Investors were just finally starting to get some confidence in Tesla because Musk was apparently going to focus his attention and energies on Tesla, his other businesses, SpaceX, the Boring Company, Neuralink, all those things. But now he's starting the America Party. So that attention is once again split and divided. So I think there's going to be further fallout, because what's going to happen is those individuals who were celebrating Musk's return and thought, yes, he is now focused, or seeing that his ambitions may now lie outside of business. And Dan Ives of Wedbush, who's been a Tesla proponent for the longest of time, actually mentioned the possibility and the need for Musk to step down as CEO of Tesla. So that's interesting. When you have a perma Tesla bull coming out on record and saying something like that, maybe time to reevaluate your perspective on Tesla. And again, like I said yesterday, I love the vehicles, but as an investor or even as a trader, there's just too much ping-ponginess there. In order for me to be a long-term buyer, I'm waiting for a much, much bigger drop than where it is now. The 10-year Treasury for the second day in a row popped, and that's more than likely a direct result of the big beautiful bill being passed and the bond market getting an uptick because there's going to be more debt taken on by the country to pay for things, and so they're going to have to increase that yield on that 10-year. So we saw that spike, and if you think back to what Jem Carson has said, he sees that 10-year going up to 6%. Now we have a long way to go before that would happen, but this could be a start of a push up there, and who knows. So we did see some strength there, and Bitcoin, which looked really strong yesterday, and maybe we're going to see that carry over into the equity markets. It gave everything back today too. So it was an individual stock pickers kind of day. The broader markets got some rest. Again, much needed. We could still be in store for a few more days of red, but I do think that the bulls will step back in and buy this dip up at least one more time before topping. But like I said yesterday, the market is showing signs of a topping process. It doesn't mean the top is in. We can go a little bit higher, but we have to be on guard. We have to pay attention. So what's in store for us tomorrow? Again, not a lot of data on the docket. On Wednesday, we'll get FOMO minutes, and that was supposed to be the tariff implementation date, but those got pushed. So really, it's just going to be more tariff talk. It's going to be more, you're going to hear the uncertainty word bandied about a bit. We might start hearing things about some trade deals that are being worked on or that are getting done. The trade deal with Japan wasn't worked out, so Trump said that they're slapping tariffs on Japan, new tariffs on South Korea, but let's see if there's some positivity that comes out in terms of deals being done with some of these other countries. But we'll see. A little bit of buying came in at the end of the day. These bulls have been strong, so one red day does not a primary trend break. Let's see if the bulls step back in. And I know one thing's for certain. That's all, guys. Have a great day. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you back on the next episode of Driven.